I can work on my scenes the night before and the week before and imagine how a scene's going to go down. And then you show up and someone just brings all these lovely surprises and you just get to follow along and watch what they're going to do and react to it. So I loved working with David.
So to start, I'm wondering if both of you read the novel ahead of your involvement in this film, and how much did you take inspiration from it while playing your characters?
I didn't. I didn't. I had just got the script, and by the time it was a really quick turnaround. By the time I got to the set, I was into just studying my thing, and then I started reading some books that were mentioned within the story.
Yeah, I oftentimes, if I'm working on something that it was inspired by a novel or came from a novel, I don't read them at the same time, because if there's something that's not in the script that was in the book, and sometimes you forget the storytelling that we choose, that we have to narrow down on the script, and I don't want to sort of confuse the two. So I generally wait till after actually to read it.
Yeah, that's fair. And David, one might not expect a cop to figure much in a story about books. So how do you think Lambiase's occupation impacts his love for reading that we see in the film?
I think he's really inspired when he meets AJ and learns about this world of books. I mean, before he had met AJ, he was just into sort of crime novels and your typical what you'd think a cop would be into. But AJ kind of opens his mind to this whole world of books, so much so that he starts the Chief Choice Book Club.
And then we see Ismay's loneliness strongly impact the action she takes in the film. Christina, what's your perspective on her somewhat tragic journey?
Yeah, my character Ismay has had a rough run of it. I mean, there's been a lot of sorrow in her life thus far. She's lost her sister, and has lost a child partway through the film. And she's not feeling sort of supported and loved by her husband. So she's in this sort of limbo of trying to figure out what she wants in her life and what sort of is going to happen to her next. I feel like she feels like so much is not in her control. So I think you're right. There's a sort of heaviness and a sorrow to her, but I think we watch this beautiful journey of her find the love that she needs by the end of it.
And how do both of you view the importance of the bookstore, not just for AJ, Amelia, and Maya, but for Lambiase and Ismay as well?
Yeah, I think the bookstore is just so important to the community in general. The whole family that's there. Lambiase has a line of book. Town isn't a town if there isn't a bookstore. And that sort of sums it up.
Absolutely. I mean, you see within the film, it becomes a place that brings people together. I mean, like the Chief's Choice Book Club, all of a sudden you see people who weren't necessarily feel welcome there earlier now embrace it. And you see like people that have grown up in this small town together, but maybe always pass each other by. It's the bookstore that brings them together and sort of mixes them up and makes them all see eye to eye.
I loved seeing the relationship between these two characters develop throughout the film. What was it like for both of you working together and sort of developing that chemistry?
I love working with David. He's such a wonderful actor, and he brings so many different levels and flavors to his character that it's just so fun to, I can work on my scenes the night before and the week before and imagine how a scene's going to go down, and then you show up and someone just brings all these lovely surprises and you just get to follow along and watch what they're going to do and react to it. So I loved working with David.
I loved working with you. It was so wonderful. I mean, I was such a fan of hers in general, and then being able to work with her was it's funny because I draw from sort of my life and sort of my feelings. And so I had this kind of like, we didn't go to school together, but I knew her work, and she's such an incredible actress, and I get to work with her. So there's that like kind of excitement and love in general. So it was really a pleasure.
Awesome. Well, thank you both so much for your time today. Congratulations on this film. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks, you too.